Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Monday and welcome to another Mask Monday. So it's been a while since I've done a Mask Monday and I have a really fun one to share with you guys today. I actually have my friend Susan Reedy to thank for this. She sent me a package over Christmas and included this super fun Dermalogica Clear Start Blackhead Clearing Fizz Mask. So Susan swears by this. She loves Dermalogica, like just in general. That is one of her favorite skincare brands. Susan and I talk a lot about skincare. And she was super excited about this. She kept telling me about it, and then she just finally sent it to me. So a big thanks to Susan for sending this. It took me a while to get around to it because I've been trying to use up some of my other masks, but just last week I started finally getting into this, and it is such a great mask, you guys. Susan is totally right. It's one of those masks that I feel like you see some results from almost immediately. The ingredients in here are really fantastic. It is a great formulation, and I love the format of this particular mask. So here's the box that it comes in, and basically the instructions are apply, fizz, and remove. So pretty simple, right? So they say that this particular mask clears pores and blackheads. It says use 2 to 3 times per week, more if needed. This unique mask's active fizzing formula effectively clears pores and helps target blackheads. Technology activates upon application, helping to open pores, decongest skin, and facilitate blackhead clearing. Sulfur, I'm still a little sick, can you tell? Sulfur provides antimicrobial benefits to help clear the skin. Kaolin clay absorbs excess oil and purifies the skin. This product is obviously cruelty-free. It is also gluten-free as well as vegan. So if these are all things that you look for in your skincare, here you go. Okay, so I have used this a total of 4 times now. It's so gentle, you guys. First off, it is super, super gentle. That you really can use this multiple days a week. Although I don't think it's necessary. I think a couple times a week is probably good. But what's great about it is that you can also use it as a really nice spot treatment. So you don't have to put this all over your face. Although I have to admit that I love this all over my face. You literally just pump a little bit into your hand here, spread the product out. It kind of almost applies like a little bit of a lotion, but then almost immediately you'll start to see it getting like airy and fizzy. Thus the name, Fizz Mask. It gets fizzy, kind of like pop rocks almost. Like that's the feeling, like there's little pop rocks like popping on your skin. It can be a little itchy, I'll be totally honest. It's, I don't want to say itchy, it's like ticklish. Like, cause you've got these like thousands of little bubbles that are starting to like bubble up, and it will do that for about 5 to 8 minutes, and then all of a sudden all the bubbles just disappear. Like it's like they just evaporate, and then you're left with what looks like a really thin layer of a more traditional like clay type mask. And you wash that off. It's very easy to remove. And what you will find afterwards is that your pores are, first off, they feel really clear, really decongested, but they look so tiny. All of that like excess oil is removed without removing too much oil. So it's not pulling everything out of your skin. It is taking just enough away to leave your skin feeling comfortable. But you'll notice for a few days afterwards that your skin just, it's not as oily. It's really, it is fantastic, you guys. It is so gentle. The one thing you may notice is that sulfur smell in this mask. It is not super strong. Sulfur is actually an ingredient that I have not talked a whole lot about on my channel. You guys know that my preferred ingredient for removing blackheads is BHA, salicylic acid. That works incredibly well for me, but actually sulfur also works super well. Sulfur for me works incredibly well on any breakouts that I have. The BHA is better on my congested pores in terms of blackheads and sebaceous filaments. It's also good on any little pimples that I get, but I find that sulfur for me is even better than salicylic acid when it comes to attacking little pimples. You guys knew that I was sick last week, so I did have just a couple of little whiteheads. I did a really good job of staying on top of my skincare while I was sick, but I was also, you know, kind of like sleeping on my hand at times, and so there were a few little bumps that came up. This mask just took them away, like, immediately. I didn't have to pick at them. Not that you shouldn't pick at your skin, but it's a lot harder for me with these nails now to like really pick at my skin because they're acrylic, so they're a little bit thicker. So that's gross, right? But it's great because I can't pick at my skin. So I've just been using this, and it literally made those whiteheads disappear. Sulfur is an amazing tool if you are someone who struggles with maybe benzoyl peroxide. Benzoyl peroxide on my skin is really harsh. Like, that is way too aggressive for me. And it always used to just tear my skin up. Sulfur and salicylic acid are my go-to sort of like anti-acne, anti-blackhead type of ingredients. The sulfur smell is not super strong. Craig hates the smell of sulfur, and this didn't bother him as much as some of my other sulfur-based products. He thinks that sulfur smells like poop. I mean, I don't think it smells great. I don't think it smells like poop though, but it has kind of a strong odor to it, but it's really mild in this formula. The sulfur is very high up on the ingredient list here. It is the third ingredient on the ingredient list. You also have kaolin, glycerin, apple fruit extract in here. You've got acacia senegal. You have ginger root oil in here. You have quartz. You have rosemary leaf oil, turmeric, eucalyptus oil. Oh my gosh, there's so much. Sage oil, lavender oil. There are a ton of really great ingredients in here. You've got tea tree oil in here. Lots of really good stuff. If you are someone who struggles with breakouts, I would give this a try for sure. It says specifically blackhead clearing mask, but I'm telling you, this worked great on my tiny little like pimples that I got from, you know, touching my face a little bit too much when being sick. This is good stuff, you guys. It's right around $21, so not super expensive. It doesn't take a lot to cover your entire face. And again, if you just use it as a spot treatment, it's perfect for that. If you just put it like in the individual little areas, you'll just notice the fizzing in that one area. You can just put it on your nose if you really want. It's really good. Another thing that I've noticed is that after using this, my sebaceous hyperplasia, which are, I don't know if you can see them off camera, but I have these like skin colored bumps called sebaceous hyperplasia. It is basically an oil gland that exploded. That's kind of my terminology for it. But those are, unless you have them removed by a dermatologist with like lasers, or they can also freeze them. There's different treatments for it, but typically skincare can make them look flatter. Certain types of skincare can make them look flatter, but they typically don't go away with just over-the-counter stuff. You have to have them treated at a dermatologist's office. I have not gone that route quite yet, but this fizzy mask does make those few that I have on my face much flatter looking. So that is a huge bonus to me. I have been putting this on just like the individual sebaceous hyperplasia around my face as well. And yeah, it helps them look a little bit flatter. So bonus there. This is gonna be a repurchase for me 100% when I run out. It's a really great mask to have on hand, especially if you are maybe dealing with like some hormonal breakouts, that time of the month type of stuff. Have this on hand for that time because it can come in pretty handy. So again, thank you, Susan, for sending this out. You definitely have me hooked on it. It's gonna be a permanent addition, and yeah, Dermalogica is a great brand. So I will link this down below for you, and yeah, let me know if you have ever tried the Fizz mask. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I will see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye.